preps to pros and everything in between. It's Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Live from the Lee Company studio. With the Hall of Famer Mo Patton, here's Chris Yao.
Welcome in on this Friday edition of Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. We've made it. It's Friday. It's the first time we can say we do have a job. And we got things to do, including cover some high school football tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. Got a lot going on today. Great show headed for you. So make sure that you stick around as we get you ready for the weekend. Good things are happening. We're going to talk a little Maury County Jamboree football that is coming up right as we get off the air at 6 o'clock. You can be over at Lindsey Nelson Stadium for that. We'll talk to John Painter. And if that last name sounds familiar to you, well, it should. If you're in the Columbia area, as the Central grad and son of very well-respected and legendary coach Jim Painter. Mm-hmm. We'll talk to him. We'll talk to Alan Taylor of The Athletic to continue our SEC preview, and we'll talk Florida today. Also, Braves and a little NASCAR. So, before we get to all that, though, Mo, welcome in. How are you?
It's been a hectic day today already.
You're telling me. I'll tell you.
We got some good news, though.
We did get some good news.
We got the good news a little too late to act on it today, but we are a step closer to distributing our fall sports preview magazine. It is done. It is at the printer. The printer is in Nashville. We have to get there to get it.
Yeah, so it was unfortunate that we were unable to bring those out to the Jamboree tonight, but that's okay. We will have them Monday. We will be distributing those around town, racks, etc. You'll have plenty of places and options to pick up the Fall Sports Preview magazine before high school football starts on Friday.
Officially starts.
Right. I mean, tonight's a Jamboree. None of this counts. It doesn't go on the record. So, really excited though about this magazine. It's going to look good. It's going to be informative. It's also going to be not entirely accurate, because there is at least one game that we did not get into a schedule, and that is the First Assembly Richland game that did not go in because it was it got in after the files went to the printer.
I mean,
so what are we going to do?
What are we going to do? I mean, I remember reading, Athlon Sports College Football, and who is the guy who does the college football magazine?
Phil Steele?
Yeah. I mean, and as hard as you try, and you want to be timely and you want to be accurate, but sometimes the logistics just don't allow that. And that was one of those times. I mean, if somebody wants to be upset that we don't have FACS Richland in the magazine, I'll take that.
if that's the one thing that we leave out,
because trust me,
we've left out worse.
Yeah,
we've left out ends and everything.
Yeah. I mean, if that's it, then guilty as charged. We'll take that,
and we'll take that.
We'll take that L.
And it'd be okay. But yeah, it's going to be great. I'm excited about it. So we will we'll get to that. Top news, not a lot really to get to, but I did send you a tweet earlier that I thought was pretty interesting from the University of Tennessee, as they are going to be unveiling 4 statues.
Yeah, and I had already seen that, and I think it's very interesting. I've not read anything about it, but I saw David Ubben of The Athletic had tweeted that prior to you sending it to me. The University of Tennessee will be recognizing 4 trailblazers basically in their football program. former Antioch standout Lester McLean, Jackie Walker, Condredge Holloway, and T. Martin will be honored with statues outside of Neyland Stadium. And I'm not sure what the significance from a timing standpoint is, but Lester McLean was the first African-American on football scholarship at the University of Tennessee.
And the first black SEC player to score a touchdown.
Okay.
Pretty cool there.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what Jackie Walker's
He was the first SEC black All-American. I can tell you, I'm looking.
first.
The
Okay.
first black All-American for the SEC.
Okay, Condredge Holloway was the first black starting quarterback in the SEC. And T. Martin was
First black to win a national championship as a quarterback.
really. I did not realize that.
So
Wow.
pretty cool that Tennessee.
I mean, I knew T. Martin won a national
Sure,
championship.
obviously.
I did not realize he was the first black starting quarterback to win a national title
for the SEC.
for the SEC.
Yep. I just think it is interesting, you know, when
Who started for Alabama in '92?
Jay Barker. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting that Tennessee has four of the first most important things in college football as far as having black athletes involved. So pretty neat there.
It's very neat. I had the opportunity when I was covering UT to be around Condredge Holloway for a little bit. He had just kind of come back to Knoxville and to UT after finally bringing his Canadian Football League career to an end. And if you ever get an opportunity to be in Condredge Holloway's presence, take it. One of the best people you'll ever come across. I mean, the documentary, the ESPN 30 for 30 or the SEC Storied or whatever you want to call it that Chesney did on him, I'm not even sure it does him justice.
Yeah, I've never been around him, but everyone I've ever talked to says the same thing.
Yeah. So, and again, Lester McLean is an Antioch native, and so it's, you know, nice to see him being recognized by his alma mater and obviously T, what he meant to that program. So that's
Huge.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. As we are seeing highlights from the Little League World Series on the television, I want you to look this up because you missed it because we were talking, but I noticed it as I was looking up. Look up Taylor, Michigan Little League and look up their uniforms because they just became my second favorite team in the Little League World Series, if for no other reason than their uniforms. You can check out, maybe hit images on Google search or something, but yeah.
This blue and orange thing?
No.
Oh, wait a minute, that's not them. That's somebody else.
When you see it, you're gonna be like,
Oh no, huh?
you'll be like, oh man, I think they just became my favorite too. I can't. Let's see here. Here it is. You can check out this right here.
All right.
From the Detroit News. Yeah, I just made a lot of noise. I'm
Yeah, you
sorry. I
did.
apologize. Oh, of course. We've got an ad.
Well,
It's the 74 Braves.
nice.
And I'm here for it. The
Yeah.
number's a little different, but that's the goal of the uniform.
Yeah,
And
it's pretty sweet.
I'm here for it. So Taylor, Michigan, number 2 on my list.
Of course, now you know they won't be wearing those uniforms
I know.
in Williamsport because everybody gets
Well, I wonder
look
because
alike.
well, they usually only have one uniform per, but now they've got 2 teams per. They may wear
their own.
their own. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So 12 of the 12 of the 16 teams
our set.
apparently have punched their tickets to Williamsport. So
And California's going to play California. Torrance and
Petaluma.
Petaluma. Yeah, so that'll be fun. We have a lot to get to, and so let's go ahead and give you the Friday rundown.
Friday, please.
This is the Rundown. The Friday Rundown is brought to you by Chip Walters of Exit Realty Bob Lamb and Associates. The voice of the Blue Raiders also wants to be your trusted advisor in real estate. Contact Chip at 615-542-1915 or through his website at choosechip.net. Chip Walters, proud to support local youth sports in southern Middle Tennessee.
In middle school football action on Thursday, it was Dixon 36, EA Cox 24. Columbia Academy defeated Grace Christian out of Franklin 40-12, and Spring Hill defeated Whitthorne 20-8. No result reported from Battle Creek, Bridgeport.
In high school golf action on the boys' side, it was Centennial 160 taking a quad match win. Columbia Academy came in at 169. Zion Christian 212. Columbia Central finished at 213. In girls action, Centennial was a shot of 98 for a win. Columbia Academy came in at 106, Central at 128, and Independence's girls defeated Spring Hill.
In Major League Baseball on Thursday, it was St. Louis 7, Pittsburgh 6. Milwaukee defeated the Chicago Cubs 17-4. The White Sox in the Field of Dreams game walked off the New York Yankees 9-8, and the Reds 12, the Braves 3. Also in minor league baseball on Thursday, the host Louisville Bats defeated the Nashville Sounds 13-3.
In CFL action, it was BC 15, Calgary 9. And in NFL preseason action, Steelers 24, Eagles 16, Patriots 22, Washington football team 13.
In today's high school football action, Jamborees, again, out at Lindsey Nelson Stadium. The Murray County Jamboree starts at 6 o'clock with Goodpasture taking on Columbia Academy. At 7, Dixon County faces Spring Hill, and in the 8 o'clock nightcap, it's Creekwood and Columbia Central. Down at the Brickyard in Pulaski tonight, the Giles County Jamboree, Fayetteville and Richland face off at 7, followed by Lawrence County and Giles County at 8. And Saturday, Zion Christian plays its first regular season 8-man football game as they travel to Springfield to face South Haven Christian. That game is at 6 o'clock at Martin Luther King Jr. Park.
In Major League Baseball action tonight on television, the Braves are at the Nationals. It's a 6:05 start on Valley Sports South or WKRM, our sister station, 103.7. The Orioles are at the Red Sox. It's a 6:10 first pitch on ESPN Plus. Tomorrow on FS1, you can see the Reds hopefully beat the Phillies at 3:05. And the Braves and Nationals are at 5:05, also on Valley Sports South and WKRM. On Sunday, again, Valley Sports South and WKRM. It's 12:05 first pitch for the Braves at the Nationals. The Yankees and White Sox will pitch at 1:10 on TBS, and the Dodgers and Mets at 6 on ESPN.
In NFL preseason action at 6 o'clock tonight on the NFL Network, it's Buffalo at Detroit. Also at 6 o'clock, the Titans are at Atlanta. I guess that game is probably on the ABC affiliate at 6. I'm not sure. Dallas and the Cardinals play at 9 on the NFL Network. CFL play tonight. Toronto is at Winnipeg. That game's at 7:30 on ESPN Plus. Saturday, both games on ESPN Plus. Montreal at Edmonton at 6. Hamilton at Saskatchewan at 9. And in MLS action on Saturday, Nashville's at DC, 6 o'clock, ESPN Plus.
All right, that's going to do it for your Friday rundown. When we return, John Painter on the line. Got a new job. We'll tell you what it is when we come back on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Day, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Right back after this.
From preps to pros and everything in between, it's Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Live from the Lee Company Studio with the between, it's Southern Middle Tennessee Sports. Local high school sports and beyond. It's on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today.
Oh, live from the Lee Company studio. Once again, waiting for that, and it just didn't come. Live from the Lee Company studio. This is Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. It gets me every time. I get used to one thing, and he just switches it up on me. It's all good. I just wasn't ready. Things happen. Happy to have you guys with us on WZYX 94.5 The Eagle and WKOM 101.7 FM, Front Porch Sports in Columbia. Also, for those of you watching on Facebook or YouTube or anywhere else that you may be watching, thank you so much for hanging out with us today as we get you ready for this Friday weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. Before we get too far gone, Mo, I got to tell you.
Tell me.
It's been hot this week. And when I say hot, I mean it's been hot. Tell me I'm wrong.
I can't.
You can't. So I got an idea.
Talk to me.
We're going to beat the heat. And here's how we're going to do it.
All right.
We're going to go to Fast Stop because it's Fast Stop Friday, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to get this milkshake smoothie machine called For Real. It's
For real?
F-real. For Real.
Okay, hold up.
Yeah.
Does For Real have anything to do with Get Real?
I don't know. You have to ask Emily Lansdale about that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Anyway, go ahead.
So they've got these milkshake and smoothie machines at Fast Stop Markets in Centerville, Hampshire Pike and James Campbell stores in Columbia, and the Hensley Drive store in Dixon. The blend-it-yourself machines are easy to use, and they give you a ton of options like Oreo cookies and cream, cake batter, Reese's peanut butter cup, cotton candy milkshakes. They also have smoothies like mango, strawberry, banana, and you can even get protein smoothies in flavors like cold brew and salted caramel. You choose the flavor and the thickness. It's ready to go. That's how we're going to beat the heat.
For real?
For real. That's Fast Stop Markets. They've got locations all around our listening area in Columbia, Centerville, Lawrenceburg, Spring Hill, Dixon, and White Bluff. So go check them out. Now, joining us. For real. Joining us on the show, happy to have brand new Maryville College Assistant Athletics Director of Communications, John Painter. And I'm happy to have him despite him being associated with Maryville College.
You should explain your...
I should. John, thank you for taking some time with us, but I have to tell you that I'm a hater of Maryville College.
Wow.
From way back when.
Wow.
I played basketball at Huntingdon College my freshman year, and we beat Maryville 3 times, and they still got in the NCAA tournament over us.
Oh, that's tough. but you had Jubilee Seafood, and nobody here had that. How about that?
There's that. You're exactly right. I got a few great things out of it. I'd have been in
so it balances out.
Yeah. Montgomery's a great place.
Beautiful campus there. Beautiful Huntington. That's beautiful.
Yes, sir. John, thanks so much for hanging out with us today. We really appreciate it. Columbia Central grad, John Painter on the line. Mo, what's up?
Columbia Central grad, son of longtime Columbia State baseball coach Jim Painter and former UT Athletic Media Relations Department staffer John Painter. And, John, I reached out to you a few weeks ago when you stepped down at Colgate and was kind of wondering, I mean, dang, that dude's not old enough to retire. I mean, unless he really just stacked up some bucks while he was in the business. So, I was kind of wondering what was next. So when I saw the tweet yesterday, the retweet from John Bryce about your new position, which you officially begin today. So are you working today? Are we interrupting you in something?
Absolutely. This is perfect. This is media relations at its finest right here.
Well, there you go. You are relating to the media. Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
My favorite part of the job.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I would imagine the pace is going to be a little different at Maryville College than when you were at Auburn or when you were with the NCAA or the 10 years you spent as the primary media contact for Coach Fulmer and Coach Kiffin over at UT?
Yes, that remains to be seen, but we will. The good thing is, I think what I tried to sell them here, as far as taking a chance on me, was I still did know a lot of people in the media market. I did a little research, and like 37% of our athletes are from within 75 miles of here. So that's interest. I mean, you guys are covering high school sports like crazy. So those athletes, they're still playing. They're playing right here at Maryville College. And so to me, that's an automatic, hey, I'm smart. I was at Colgate. We weren't ever going to steal a thunder from Syracuse, and that's fine. That's fine. We weren't trying to. We weren't rivals with them. And we're certainly not going to, infringe on any coverage for the Vols here. But hey, if we've got a big game going on, a championship type atmosphere, and like I said, you got that 37% of kids from the local area, then hey, I think there's interest there. I think you see the great thing about Maryville. Maryville's like Columbia. Columbia supports Columbia State. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
That doesn't mean people aren't Vol fans or Vanderbilt fans or Alabama fans, Kentucky fans, but they support the Chargers. And I think that's the same atmosphere here at Maryville College. I didn't have that as much at Colgate because we were kind of in the middle of nowhere. Basically, our fans there were alums or students or parents, right? Those were our fans. But here, I think, in Maryville College, in Maryville, Tennessee, just like in Columbia, you do have local fans who are interested in what's going on. So,
well, a lot of that has to do with the success that Maryville College has had, especially in the basketball arena. So that makes a big difference.
And I also think that, when you let people know what's going on, because so often in this business you hear, well, nobody cares about X. Well, a lot of times people don't care about X because they've not been given a reason to care about X. But if you let people know what's going on your campus, in your program, people will say, hey, that's pretty interesting. And
absolutely.
And,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. As a longtime high school sports writer, sometimes you lose sight of folks once they leave that high school realm. So if somebody is telling you, hey, we've got a kid from your area who's really doing some good things up here, it's nice to know that kind of thing and nice to be able to keep up with that. So I think it's great that Maryville is, as you put it, taking a chance on you. I'm not sure how big a chance it is, but, I think it's great that they have had the foresight to bring somebody in of your background, and I think it's going to pay off in, exponentially for them.
Well, I hope so. I've never been at the assistant AD level, so that I wanted to make sure they knew that was quite a thing for me to achieve. I'm right there. I'll be right there with the AD making decisions, and so that's a first for me. So there's always learning going on. I mean, as long as I can keep learning things, and then that interests me. You know what I'm saying? And to frankly, I've been on college campus most of my life. I had that stretch at the NCAA where it's really just an office job. But I've been on a college campus, and I'm the one that keeps getting older. Everybody I'm around is 18 to 29, because I was hiring 25 to 29-year-olds usually. And I was the one who's 37, 47, now 57. I'm the one that keeps bumping up in age. But, hey, when you're around the athletes and the kids, it's fun because it kind of keeps you feeling good and keeps you looking forward to the next game.
Absolutely. Visiting with John Painter, Columbia native John Painter, and newly named Assistant Athletics Director for Communications at Maryville College, John Painter. 32 years of experience, according to the release yesterday put out. Did you write this? But
no, thankfully I didn't have to write my own release. So,
I didn't know how that worked, but Sarah, and you can backstop me on this. Quatrocki?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Sarah Quatrocki. Yep.
Quatrocki,
Kansas City native, and a lot of Royals blood in her. So that's we've been having fun talking because I lived in Kansas City for 10 years, so that's
Okay.
kind of been a good connection for me. Yeah.
The AD at Maryville says there are not too many times in a career when you get the chance to hire someone like John Painter. His passion for college athletes and commitment to the student athlete experience were impressive qualities that drew our staff to him during the hiring process. Our department got better today with the addition of a leader like John. His expertise in the athletic communications field is unmatched, and his infectious spirit will add immediate value to our department. Scott's Nation is in for a treat with John telling the story of our traditions and successes. 9 years at Colgate. Again, also, 10 years at UT and some time on the loveliest village on the plains. So
Yeah, that was my start. Got started at Auburn. There about a year and a half, closing out on 2 years. So, I've been lucky to land in some great places. I tell you what, I've added up, I think, like 5 or 6 Cosida Hall of Famers I've worked for. And so that's been huge for me.
Including the triumvirate of Haywood Harris, Bud Ford, and Debbie Jennings.
Yes. Add David Howell into that group, and I said you got some heavy hitters, that just, knew what they were doing. It really taught me. They didn't teach me the X's and O's much as they did just the personal relationships. Someone else like that, Marion Wilhoit, was somebody like that taught me a lot about that. Back in the old days when I first getting to know you, Maurice, by the way. And before I go, I want to make sure I thank you. Congratulations to you on your Tennessee Sports Writers Hall of Fame induction. That's well earned.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
But we're going to make this about you, John.
Okay, yes, sir. Here's what I say: if you know who the SID is, and something's usually gone wrong, usually say, I see that guy at every game. Who is that guy? So
Right.
that's usually me. So.
Yeah.
Hey, I hope you got a pen. We're going to need you to take down a couple names for us. All right. We got Matthew Petzold at a Columbia Academy who is out at Maryville playing a little baseball.
Sweet. Nice.
Also on the women's soccer side, we have former Spring Hill Raider Sydney Walker. And
Nice.
from Independence, we have Chase Tyson playing defense for the soccer team, men's soccer. So the
I love it.
couple of
Some local
flavor.
flavor. Yeah.
Yeah.
and
I love that. I'll make sure. Anytime I have a chance to relate back to home, I'll make sure to do that.
We appreciate that because we would certainly love to keep folks here abreast
Yeah.
of their continued
Absolutely.
success.
We can also tell you, John, that a recent Maryville College graduate, Catherine Upshaw, was just named about 10 days or so ago as the new girls coach at Culleoka.
In case you guys are looking for
Okay.
a story for your
That's good.
future
I'll
alumni.
definitely- Yeah, I have to give her a shout out. Yeah, we'll have to give her a shout out on social media for sure. I appreciate that.
At @cat_Upshaw.
Okay.
You can
I was
retweet
in
our
the
story.
Culleoka gym. Listen to this one. I was in the Culleoka gym. So it was 1980. I was there with Marion. We were covering a tournament, right? A district tournament. And it's about, it was about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, probably a quadruple header, right? They play the girls, boys, right? And some guy leans over the railing. I'm not kidding. It's a Friday. He leans over the railing. He says, "Hey, we just beat the Russians." That's what I remember about the Culleoka gym. How about that?
Wow.
They just beaten the Russians.
Do you believe in miracles?
That's
And
awesome.
I said, oh my, no way. Is that right? We just got crushed by them, a week ago. And that's what he said. He leaned over and said, "Hey, we just beat the Russians." And that's how I found out.
And he can't tell you who was playing in that basketball game.
But he knows where he was when the U.S. beat
Yeah.
the Russians
That's
in hockey
amazing.
in '80.
Absolutely right. You're absolutely right. How about that? My Culleoka gym story. How about that?
That's fantastic.
John, thanks so much. And we're so excited for you to be back in Tennessee and hopefully helping us keep up with some of our alumni. We thank you so much for taking some time today to talk about your new position and what you've been doing. And congratulations once again. We thank you for your time, man.
Well, Murray County has a long history of covering high school sports better than anybody else in southern Middle Tennessee. and you guys are a couple pros, and congratulations and good luck with your new publication. You know, this podcast, this radio show is already doing great, but good luck with, as you keep building and going forward. I mean, they can't, people are going to have to read your stuff because you guys are the experts. You guys are pros. You've been there with it for so long, and I wish you the best of luck.
We thank you so much, man. We really appreciate it. That is John Painter, New Maryville College Assistant AD of Communications. Just want to let you know this segment brought to you by Fast Stop.
It's Fast Stop Friday.
Fast Stop Friday, man. It's gonna be great. So
For real.
Stick around. Murray County Jamboree preview ish coming up on the other side of the break. Stick around. Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today.
Covering the teams you care about. It's Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Once again, live from the Lee Company studio with the Hall of Famer Mo Patton. Here's Chris Yao.
Welcome back in to Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Barn and Joint. New one to come in that time. Got the whole with the Hall of Famer bit. Anyway, we are back and happy to have you guys with us here in this first hour of the show on Friday as we count you down to the weekend. We got in studio with us intern one, the lone intern.
The intern.
It's, well, I mean, once you get dubbed one, I think the next one's just going to have to be 3. I talked to intern 2 today. He's busy from 2 to 6:30. They're going to be taking headshot pictures of soccer and volleyball up at Trevecca. So,
Well, I'm glad to know he's working.
if he was at the house doing nothing when I called him.
So he wasn't working.
Not when
He's
I called him.
working
He is now.
Okay. All right.
But we are joined by Andrew Moore in studio. We're going to talk a little bit about the Murray County Jamboree, and then we'll get Andrew to tell us a little bit about tonight's Titans-Falcons preseason game, which is going to be a lot of fun to watch if you care about people who will barely make the roster. And guess what? I do, in fact, care about people who will barely make the roster. So,
Well, I'll tell you this, and I don't know if it'll be somewhere that I can go back and watch it later, but one guy that I'm interested to see tonight who will not be wearing two-tone blue is Chris Rowland, the former receiver from Ravenwood who played at Tennessee State. Won the most prestigious FCS player award his senior year. Yeah. I started to say that, but it just didn't feel right.
Walter Payton.
But yeah, I'm excited to see him. He was on the practice squad as a rookie for the Falcons last year and got activated late in the year for maybe 3 games or so. And so,
well, now they're down a receiver, so.
yeah. So, I think Kyle Pitts is going to take up some of that slack.
Yeah, maybe a little.
But yeah, I'll be looking forward to seeing what he gets done tonight.
Yeah,
aside from the Titans.
We'll get into it here in just a few minutes. But first, Murray County Jamboree starts tonight.
Is tonight.
At 6 o'clock. As soon as we get off the airwaves, they'll be kicking off, and it'll be Columbia Academy and Good Pasture.
And Good Pasture will be rolling out its 3rd head coach in 3 seasons. Jerry Jocelyn stepped down at the end of the 2019 season. Tyler Turner was there last year, left, went to Jackson Prep down in Mississippi, and Greg Cotton is a first-year head coach of the Cougars, assistant OC and offensive line coach for them last year. So should be interesting. I think Good Pasture was kind of a late pickup. I don't know that that was the original plan for the Murray County Jamboree for Good Pasture and CA to play each other, but I think there was someone else that maybe dropped out. So you've got CA and Good Pasture playing 2 12-minute periods, not quarters. 2 12-minute periods starting at 6 o'clock, followed by Spring Hill and Dixon County. Dixon County coached by the former Independence assistant Greg Burns, now in his 2nd season. Be interesting to see what Spring Hill does at quarterback, because one of the guys who we spoke of earlier this week, Chance Harmon, apparently has had an injury and will not be available tonight.
A labrum tear in his hip.
That sounds painful. I hope it doesn't hurt as badly as it sounds.
I mean, it feels like something that would hurt when you walk. And that's not ideal.
Which is not conducive for football.
It's not ideal.
If it hurts when you walk, it's definitely going to hurt when you run.
Especially with his type of game. Like you said, he can do so many things with his legs.
Yeah, but not with a labrum tear.
But not with a labrum tear. So, yeah, I will be interested to see how that works, because wasn't Martin also hurt in the last
Blaze
scrimmage?
Martin in the CA scrimmage did not participate because of some back issues. Now, I don't know if he was active in their 3-way scrimmage late last week when they and Summertown went to East Hickman. So
Haven't
I've not
spoken.
gotten an update on Blaze, but
So we could see Scott Carter and
Connor.
I forget his name. I said it last time after.
You had to, because I couldn't remember it either. The transfer from Ravenwood, but yeah, folks, we'll have these names down by next week, but it's still a little early right now.
Tonight will be fun.
Yeah.
No doubt. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to see at the quarterback position for both of those two. Which, I mean, obviously CA kind of has a quarterback by default now.
Well, kind of,
they
sort
still
of,
have some
because
questions.
yeah, because they lost one to a broken collarbone in that Spring Hill scrimmage, but they've still got, Reed McGrath and Elisha Nieves kind of going at it there. So, Spring Hill and Dixon County, 2 periods beginning at 7. The nightcap, Columbia Central and Creekwood at 8 o'clock, 2 12-minute periods. So,
I'm curious if we'll see, since Creekwood and Dixon County are in town, I wonder if we'll see our buddy Casey Patrick.
I do
tonight.
believe Mr. Patrick
Gonna
is
be in town?
I believe he's going to be in town.
Hot dog. We need to get him over here quicker and have a
Casey in the house. Hopefully he'll be wearing his number 1 UT jersey, so everybody knows who he is. Yeah. But,
That's his uniform now.
yeah. So again, also the Giles County Jamboree tonight. Defending 1A champion Fayetteville takes on Richland at 7 o'clock, and at 8 o'clock it's Lawrence County or Lawco and Giles County. So
That's at the Brickyard.
that is at the Brickyard.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Get down there if you are looking for some high school football and you don't want to come to Columbia. That's okay. You can go to the Brickyard, go to Giles County. What you got?
On that game, too, by the way, of course, with the new region Lawrence County is in, having 8 region games and only 2 available, they were not able to schedule Giles County for the Cowbell game, which they haven't had in the last rotation. So it's been 3 years since they've had the Cowbell game. Thus, the impetus to try to get the Jamboree to play each other, hopefully to still get good gates. I imagine it may be returned next year.
Will the Cowbell be on the line tonight?
There are probably fans and players that will probably expect it to be. They'll take pride in it.
Oh, yeah.
Bragging rights.
Well, we
for the
used to
Cowbell.
do that. We used to have a Jamboree, but we played 3 quarters, and the only reason we played 3 was so that we didn't get in trouble. But
For playing a whole game.
yeah, I mean, it was basically a game. I mean, the year that the first year we were in public schools at Summerton Christian, we beat Corner, which was a 4A school about 10 miles down the road. So don't think we didn't put that on the T-shirt the next year, because we did.
Corner
Yes.
Corner High School?
Corner High School
In Corner, Alabama?
in Warrior, Alabama.
Oh, so
It's at the corner of Jefferson County and Walker County, so Corner High School. It actually has a Dora address, which is Dora is in Walker County, so I don't understand how that all works. Zip codes and mail routes, man.
Sometimes it's good just to be simple and original.
Corner.
Corner.
Well, again,
Make no mistake where it is.
Because you couldn't call them Dora because they have a Dora address, but Dora's in Walker County and already had a school. Warrior also already had a school, and that's the only other town nearby. So you had to come up with a name, and they came up with, Corner.
Okay, let me ask you this. So Dora has a high school?
Correct.
Are they the Explorers?
I wish they were. Unfortunately, no.
Probably created before that, right?
Just a little
I
bit.
think you have to change the name.
It would consider that, absolutely.
And I've seen some opposing
And you know what the logo is, right? I mean,
a backpack. I've seen some opposing cheerleaders that say, "Explore this, Dora." Hey, Dora, explore this and stuff like that. So it's been interesting. You know, it's yeah.
wow.
And Dora backwards is A-Rod. So it's just bad all around. Any way you put it, it's bad.
Let's talk some Titans.
Oh man, yeah. Let's talk about it. We got about 4 minutes to do so. So Andrew, tell us, what are you looking for tonight out of Logan Woodside in this offense?
It's hard to expect anything, but I think it's also amazing that Logan Woodside has stuck around as long as he has.
Y'all keep hating on the AAF. Y'all keep hating, baby.
Something's going right there. They like him a lot. What I'm really looking forward to tonight is, well, with the whole preseason, is depth. Wide receiver position is something that I'm really looking forward to seeing after AJ, Julio, and Josh Reynolds.
Who's next?
Who's next? Are we going to keep 6? Are we going to keep 7? And it's weird.
Do you think they keep 7 and have 1 return kicks? I can't imagine they won't.
I think
See,
7 is a realistic expectation this
That's
year.
wild, especially with 2 tight ends, maybe 3.
Maybe 3.
Yeah,
and
maybe 3 tight ends and 7 wide receivers.
and
That's 10
It's weird to say this
On a
because
53-player roster.
player roster.
in the history of the Titans, I mean, we haven't always had the strongest depth when it came to the wide receiver position.
That's true.
And now who do you keep? It's a good issue to have. After Reynolds, I can see Des Fitzpatrick, Rayson McMath, who has been a standout from what I've heard in training camp. You got Nick Westbrook-Akine, who's really good on special teams. You have Cam Batson, that's really quick.
Batson has return kicks before.
He has.
So that would help.
You have Chester Rogers. You have Marcus Johnson, who's also been a standout in camp.
I've heard
this year.
Johnson's name has been mentioned a lot. So yeah,
Mason Kinsey is also kind of in that mix too. I don't know if he makes the squad or not, but wide receiver depth is interesting. Offensive line depth is also
the top 5
interesting.
are great, but what do you got after that?
Well, who's going to start at right tackle? That's all. You have the first 4. You have Lawan, you have Saffold, you have Jones, and you have Nate Davis. But then there's going to be that open battle for the right tackle. Is it going to be Sambrelo? Is it going to be?
I thought it was going to be Sambrelo, but I guess not.
Is it going to be Lamb? They have Radens listed as a right guard for tonight, a backup right guard. So really just depth on wide receiver, offensive line.
So you can expect to see Radens get some time at right tackle tonight.
Yes, I would imagine so. And then let's just see what – you're not going to see a lot of starters, if any starters, on either side of the ball, and just see what this defense is going to look like after that just historically bad season we had last year. So
this defense is going to you're going to have to see some starters tonight on defense. You're going to have to.
You know, Dupree's not going to be there. He's still recovering. Farley's not going to play. He's already been ruled out. Elijah Molden is dinged up. Brady Breeze is dinged up a little bit. So it's really going to be, again, depth on how's your depth look on both sides of the ball. So
depth is key, and that's what preseason is for, and that's why I enjoy it, because I get to see a bunch of guys that I know who they are.
Haven't had football since February, so you got to take
what you can get.
Yeah.
Did you watch any last night? Mac Jones looked good.
I did not. I was stuck down at the brewery working on some stuff, so I didn't get a chance to really catch any games last night. But I will have my eyes glued to the TV today. I'll have my paper and my pen.
And you did say it was on. Is it going to be on the ABC affiliate?
I believe so. That's what I have it recorded on the TV.
He's like, I hope so.
It better be.
Well, I'm excited too. Murray County Jamboree at 6 o'clock. Get out to Lindsey Nelson Stadium. Watch the Titans at 6 o'clock as well if you want to. So there you go. It
always seemed to rain on Jamboree night.
It's killing me.
I don't
want to talk
understand.
about it.
Even back when I was in high school.
Stop.
We're going to be back.
We're going to ignore it and hope it goes away.
We are. Alan Taylor on the other side of the break, The Athletic, talking Florida football. We'll be right back after this.
tips to pros and everything in between. It's Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Live from the Lee Company studio. With the Hall of Famer Mo Patton, here's Chris Young.
Welcome back in. Top of the hour to you. Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Happy to have you guys along with us on this Friday. It is finally evening time here in the Central Time Zone. And ladies and gentlemen, the weekend. We are here. Glad to be with you. Hope that you are having a fantastic end to your week and getting ready for Titans football tonight, high school football tonight, whatever football you're getting ready for.
High school football tomorrow.
High school football tomorrow. In some, in one fashion, in a certain fashion, sure. 8-man. But hey, I'm here for the 8-man game. You know that. Mo, it's been hot outside. Not necessarily today after the rain, but if we're looking to beat the heat, I got a way to do it.
I'm listening.
You ready?
Uh-huh.
All right, here's what we're going to do. We are going to go, since it's Fast Stop Friday, of course, go down to Fast Stop. We're going to get what is called the For Real, F-Real. For Real.
Not to be confused with Pharrell.
Not to be confused with Pharrell or hashtag Get Real, if you are.
Yeah,
there's
a little synergy there. For real, get real.
There's some synergy
Yeah,
there.
we got to check on that.
Yeah. Well, and as soon as we get out of here to the ball game, this first thing we'll ask, hey, wait a minute, where'd that come from?
Yeah.
Well, they've got a milkshake and smoothie machine down at Fast Stop Markets in Centerville, Hampshire Pike and James Campbell here in Columbia, and the Hensley Drive store in Dixon. It's a blend-it-yourself machine. They're easy to use, and they give you tons of options like Oreo cookies and cream, cake batter, Reese's peanut butter cup, or Sarah's going to love this, cotton candy milkshakes. If she's listening right now, she's going to be like, where's my cotton candy milkshake? She's a cotton candy flavor.
She can have mine.
Loves it all. Anyway, they also have smoothies. You've got mango, strawberry, banana. You can even get protein smoothies in flavors like cold brew and salted caramel. So that's awesome. You just choose the flavor and the thickness. It's ready to go. The For Real machine.
For real.
For real, for real.
For real, for real.
I'm looking forward to getting one next time it gets 105 heat index, which is probably tomorrow.
If not today.
Yeah, goodness. Again, welcome back in to Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, and it is Fast Stop Friday, but we are continuing our Southeastern Conference football previews. Today, we stay in the East Division, as we have all week long, and talk a little Florida football. And joining us now is, from The Athletic, Alan Taylor. And we appreciate your time and glad to have you with us, man.
My pleasure, man. I'm just looking forward to a normal football season again, knock on wood, where we have fans and bands and roaming the field for pregame drills and all that good stuff.
Sounds exciting. Sounds fun, especially after last year. Like you said, Alan Taylor of The Athletic. And Alan, full disclosure, we were set to get you on a couple of days ago. We had some issues that prevented that. And as I said yesterday, the timing probably, for Jaden Hill anyway, it wasn't great. But we would have talked about him in the defensive secondary had we spoken to you as scheduled. Now we have to talk about who's going to be replacing him because he suffered a knee injury, tore his left ACL earlier this week, and that came out between Wednesday and today. I guess that was yesterday. So
yeah.
What is the situation behind him as a guy who played a lot last year as a freshman?
Yeah, it's disappointing for him, coming out of the Huntsville area because he had an ACL in high school that he overcame and still was a pretty well-rated recruit, signed with Florida. And then, he started 4 or 5 games last year and wasn't definitely going to be the starter at the cornerback opposite Kaiir Elam, but, certainly had an inside track to it. And then he tears the opposite ACL this week, So he's got another rehab ahead of him, and he'll miss this season. They had planned to try to get older in that cornerback room because beyond Elam, they've got some true freshmen and redshirt freshmen that they're looking at, but they needed somebody to fill a couple gaps in between. So they brought in a Missouri transfer, Darius Perkins, and to call him a Missouri transfer is generous because he had only gotten to Missouri in January, spent spring running with the first team, and now he's looking for another place to play coming out of JUCO. So I guess that counts. If you spend a week on campus, I guess you're a Missouri transfer. But the other guy they had targeted all along too was Elijah Blades, who, like Perkins, is 6'1", 190. Perkins was a JUCO guy who was really highly recruited when he went to Texas A&M 2 years ago. Started 6 games in 2019, played pretty well against Alabama in spurts out in College Station 2 years ago. But the entire time he was dealing with a torn labrum that kept popping that shoulder out all season long. So he opted out last year, went into the portal, and now after having surgery, he's coming into Florida as a really a 3 or 4 month, 1 semester kind of player as a grad transfer. So Perkins from Missouri, Elijah Blades from A&M,
Jason Marshall.
Again, they've got several. Jason Marshall is one of those freshmen that, to hear the Florida people say it, heck, give him the position and let him play it for 3 years, right? He's that good. But he's a true freshman, and they would rather have him learn the system and be like some of these other really good corners to where maybe by week 3, 4, or 5, you're a little more comfortable letting those guys start out there. So while Hill is a detriment, losing a veteran guy like him, they had some other options in the works.
This is a team that gave up 30.8 points a game last year, 6.1 yards a play, just a year after only giving up 15.5 a game. So was last year the anomaly? Is this defense poised to get back on track and get back into that 15 to 20 point range?
I think it is, and I can say that without excusing what happened last year, right? Because last year was a disaster at times, and what was weird is they would play 3 great quarters against South Carolina and Kentucky, and you would think, oh, maybe they got the thing figured out. But then, you go out against Arkansas or the season opener against Ole Miss, and certainly Alabama in the SEC championship game, and they just weren't stopping anybody. They have a lot of pieces that if you look at them individually, you think they should be pretty good. They've got 4 stars. They've got 5 stars. They've got older guys. They've got guys who have had been out of position before and are now back in their position. So I think they're due for a turnaround because it always seems like college football gives you that. The minute you write somebody off, they're pretty good. The minute you think they're invincible, they're pretty bad. So I think they begin to look more like they did 2 years ago. That being said, they've got to get the back end fixed. I mean, they had so many plays last year where guys were either mid-communication and getting lined up against tempo offenses, and the safeties who are old weren't playing very well. So now they've got younger, better athletes at the safeties, but, the communication part of it has to get worked out. And I think it will, given the fact that they had a full spring and they had a full summer to get that stuff ironed out. A lot of people were calling for defensive coordinator Todd Grantham to get canned, and that was really his first horrible year as a coordinator. Instead, they let go 2 secondary coaches, one of whom went to Purdue and one of whom went to South Carolina, and replaced those guys. So, all eyes on the safety, because I think the front 7 is going to be pretty good. And as we mentioned, Kaiir Elam at one cornerback, I think is every bit as good as Patrick Surtain was last year.
Wow.
Speaking with Alan Taylor of The Athletic here on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, and it's a little amazing that we have spent about 5 minutes or maybe more talking about Florida's defense.
Well, that's because all their offense left.
Well, and that's exactly where I was going. Kyle Trask and Kyle Pitts, probably
and
one of the
Kadarius Toney,
one of the top passing combinations probably in the country last year, both gone along with Kadarius Toney. What's happening at quarterback, Alan?
It's Emory Jones's job to lose, and the job that Trask did in about a year and a half as a starter really eclipsed what Florida thought they had in Emory when Mullen first came over from Mississippi State. He came over either late November, early December, and got Emory flipped from Ohio State, by early signing period. So it was an intense couple weeks there. And he's the one quarterback in my mind that is just could be boom or bust. I mean, he could, show us everything that you'd expect from a guy who's athletic with a strong arm, and he could just be dynamic and really, really own that position. He could also have a couple of iffy outings against FAU and USF, and then get buried by Alabama in week 3. And we're talking about somebody else at quarterback in week 4. I mean, and that's not a knock on him. I think it's more a knock on my analytical skills, because he has both sort of the ceiling and the floor they're looking at him. One thing you can appreciate about him is that he's played on and off as a backup and as a situational guy for 3 years and didn't leave, quite honestly. He was mature and patient enough to understand that opportunity would come when a lot of people were telling him after year 1 or year 2, or even last year before Trask was going to be a senior, man, you need to go somewhere where you can play right away. And so he's earned the opportunity to be where he is and to feel comfortable. And so we'll see, because, Mullen has a pretty good track record of taking those quarterbacks and making them just maximize their potential.
That's kind of what I was just about to say. I mean, you go back to Alex Smith, even at Utah, Tim Tebow, Dak Prescott. I mean, what he did with Kyle Trask over the last couple of years, it's pretty impressive what Dan Mullen has done with quarterbacks in his short time as a college football coach. And I say that, I mean, it's been 15, 16 years now. But Dan Mullen, he's what's the feel down there? We got about 3 minutes left. But what's the feel down there about Mullen?
It's sort of split, right? I mean, he has stabilized the program, because when he came in, they were coming off the Muschamp and McElwain regimes that didn't really work out, obviously. So it's, got him in 3 straight New Year's Six bowls. But last year, if not for a couple plays, Alabama and A&M, and obviously the thrown shoe against LSU, and they're in the college football playoff. And I think everyone is singing his praises. As it is, they're wondering how long it's going to be, because Florida hasn't won an SEC championship since 2008, and that's a long stretch. So he's in a proving ground. I think if they win 9 or 10 games this year, everybody will continue receiving him pretty well. If something bad were to happen, like what happened to LSU last year, where they dropped down to 500. It might be a different deal, but I think he's exceeded expectations so far based on where they were when he came in.
There you go. That was kind of my thought too. I think Mullen should probably get the benefit of the doubt, considering what he came in to. So, yeah, it is what it is.
Meanwhile, on the other end of that, Kyle Pitts, who's next there?
Yeah, they got a couple guys who had 5 touchdown catches in the 2.5 games that he missed after being knocked out of the Georgia game on a targeting hit that essentially broke his nose. Keon Zipper is more the athletic downfield guy, but also Kamari Gamble, a thicker guy who looks more like an inline tight end, but he can get out in the flat and he can get down the seams and make some catches too. So I think their production as a unit at tight end is still going to be 40, 50 catches. I don't think they're going to drop down to where it's all wide receivers and running backs. So I think they're okay there. And they've really got 2 or 3 guys behind them that are looking good down the road too. It won't be Pitts where you line them up outside the numbers and on the sidelines and do whatever you want to with them, but it'll be more a really solid conventional group of tight ends that can hurt you.
Alan Taylor of The Athletic joining us today on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Man, we appreciate your time.
Hey, my pleasure, man. Good to talk to you, boys.
Absolutely. That concludes our Florida preview on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, as we continue SEC previews starting on Monday of next week, so stick around. We got the Braves coming up right after this, so Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Day presented by Mid-Tennessee Barn & Joint. We'll be right back to the Lee Company studio right after this.
When the Braves play, Chris and Mo are talking about it,
Yeah, that's trash can juice.
Speak for yourself.
for better or worse, on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Back to the Lee Company studio. Yep, they're fans too. Here's Chris and Mo.
You know, that's the first time we've gotten that deep into that that bring back music, and I kind of like that.
It's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I caught that too. I may have to do a little editing and
Get to that part.
get to that point a little earlier in some rejoins.
That
I like
was a
that.
good one. I like that music. Welcome back in Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Day, presented by Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yao, Mo Patton, JP Plant, Andrew Moore in studio with us today. And I will tell you, wasn't looking forward to this segment.
Last chance.
I wasn't.
What?
I mean, I am.
You are now?
I am now because, well, we're about to get through it and be done with it.
Okay.
The Atlanta Braves do play the Nationals tonight, and that's a good thing because
They have a
it's-
game against the Nationals.
against a team wearing Nationals uniforms. I'll be honest with you. I'm hoping that it's Fetty.
Don't worry, we're going to score some runs against these guys.
That's all I know. I hope it's Fetty. I mean, I don't know who else is coming, but yeah, no, seriously. Yesterday, we don't need to talk about it. Long story short, bunch of home runs, gave up a bunch of runs. Nothing good happened.
People were sent down.
Other than the only good thing that happened was, which I mean, again, Kyle Muller being sent down doesn't surprise me now that Ian Anderson and Huascar Ynoa are back. Kind of expected that, so not really upset too much with Muller taking off. I am a little concerned as to why the crap Jacob Webb was returned to Atlanta. Yeah, you didn't hear? He's back.
Guess who's back?
No idea why. I saw a tweet today that had they had a bottle, like a spray bottle, and it said Cobweb Eliminator, and they'd put JA, said Jacob Webb Eliminator, and they were like, it didn't work. It was so good.
So they sent Muller out and brought Webb up.
Correct. Instead of
And then, well, what'll happen is when they activate Enoa,
or Anderson, they'll just send him back down. So they got a bullpen arm out of it, which is, I mean, it is what it is, but it's
that's
Jacob
fine,
Webb.
but why's
But
it got to be that?
why
arm?
can't it be anybody else?
It wasn't there another arm
There wasn't
they could have
anybody.
brought up for a bullpen arm. I mean,
This is the guy. He's not going to
couldn't we have brought Orlando Arcia back and let him
pitch if needed.
throw? I mean, goodness gracious.
Oh man, yeah, it is what it is. Jacob Webb is back in Atlanta, but I hope that we don't have to see him because I'm hoping that we just get 6 out of our starters for the next 4, and then we'll see either Enoa or Anderson in the 5th game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind Jacob Webb drawing a major league salary.
As long as we don't see him,
That's as long as he doesn't play.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Because if we can get to Minter, who looked pretty good yesterday,
Relatively.
I mean,
I didn't watch, so full disclosure.
I didn't either, but I mean, you look at his line, you go, okay, and what he did in Gwinnett, if we brought him back in a low leverage situation and he's got some confidence and we can build that confidence up.
Well, yesterday was certainly a low leverage situation.
Exactly.
Once Muller and Josh Tomlin got done.
And that was pretty quick. What, 4 or 5 innings, something like that? After that, it was smooth sailing, guys.
Right. Yeah. As I tweeted yesterday, I don't know if you saw it or not. At least we don't have to worry about Will Smith blowing a save today.
Thank goodness. But yeah, so that's kind of the way that we're expecting this next series to go. We've got the Nationals and then the Marlins, who are coming off a pretty good series against San Diego. So I'm just throwing that out there. The Marlins not looking too bad. Must be that Alex Jackson trade they got.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
But got the Nationals, got the Marlins, and the Phillies get the Reds, and now we just became Reds fans. Like I said, that's the reason we sent them out
stay
on a
hot.
high note.
Stay hot.
We sent them out on a high note so that they could go ahead and take care of the Phillies
There
for
we
us in
go.
3. Sweep them.
Got them warmed up.
That's right. That's all we're doing. Just getting you ready for the next series.
I like that.
Please and thank you. We'd appreciate it.
Yeah.
How you go from hating a team one day to being their biggest fan the next?
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
That's right. Oh, man.
Applicable in a number of situations.
All the situations. So, yeah, I think, this is the time, again, the Braves, after this series, I think as it gets a little more difficult, I think we either get the Dodgers or the Padres and then the Yankees.
We got 3 against Washington. We got 3 against Miami. We got an off day. We got 3 against Baltimore. All of those are on the road.
Okay.
2 against the Yankees.
So, wait a minute. We go from Washington to Miami back to freaking Baltimore? Who makes the schedules?
I don't know who makes the schedule, but I blame Rob Manfred.
Yes. This guy, does he not own a map?
Do you have to own a map to know that Washington and
Baltimore
Baltimore are?
If you went on a field trip in 8th grade, no, because you flew into the Baltimore airport to go to D.C.
Well, if you went on a field trip in 8th grade, then you probably went to both Washington and Baltimore.
Exactly.
So
anyway, sorry, that just keep going. Now I'm mad, and it ain't at the Braves, so that's good.
yeah. So after Baltimore, they come home for 2 against the Yankees. Got 2 off days. I've never seen a team get 2 off days.
2 in a row?
Yeah.
Why do we only play the Yankees twice? That's weird. Okay.
Then 3 at home against San Francisco, then at L.A. So that's the next 2 or 3 weeks.
So we got the Giants in L.A. Gotcha. Okay, I thought it was the Padres, but the Giants. That's even worse. The division leading Giants. So there's that.
The 70-win Giants.
Sheesh. Yeah. Well, okay. So here's the thing. It's still the time. I mean, you've got Nationals, Marlins, Orioles, 3 of the worst teams on your schedule left.
Yep.
Go ahead and get these out of the way and build some – not only build some momentum, but build some, I guess, some cushion in there.
Ideally, yeah. Because, I mean, they went from 1st to 3rd with yesterday's debacle, but, you got 3 teams within a game of each other right now.
No, we're tied for 2nd.
Sure.
We were a half game ahead of the Mets going in. I'm pretty sure. That's what they said on the TV.
Well, and you listened?
I did. I wasn't,
Phillies 60 and 55, Mets 59, 55, Braves 59 and 56. The Mets are a half game back. The Braves are a game back.
So they're a half game ahead. Okay, so I guess they were a half game ahead going into yesterday when we were a half game ahead going into their game, and they won, and we lost. That makes sense. That's probably what I heard.
Yeah.
Nonetheless,
anyway,
doesn't matter. We got to win the division, so we're a game back.
Yeah, that's for sure. Because the Brewers are 70 and 46.
74 wins for the Giants. 74. They're 5 games ahead of the 69-win Dodgers.
There are, right now, counting the Phillies, I'm not going to count the Mets, but there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams with better records. Is that right? 5 teams with better records than the Braves right now.
Yeah, the Reds are 4 games out of the second wild card.
So the Braves have to win the NL East.
That's the bottom line.
Because
Stone Cold said so. Sorry, Andrew.
Have you seen those Tide commercials with him and Ice-T?
They're the best commercials.
They are.
They're the best commercial on television right now. Anyway, let's just say who we didn't find out who Morton's throwing against tonight.
I've not looked again.
So it's Morton.
Oh, it's that Gray kid that they got from the Dodgers, Josiah Gray.
Why does he gotta be Gray?
No. The kid that they got from the Dodgers in the Trey Turner, Max Scherzer trade.
Didn't we already face him? And did he?
Did he pitch in that series last weekend? I believe he did. I believe he pitched on Friday night.
I think he did too. Yeah.
But yeah, he's the guy again. Morton 10-4 with a 3.52 ERA.
Yeah.
Gray is
He went 5 innings, gave up 1 earned run on 4 hits, and struck out 10.
Yeah.
We struck out 15 times in the game and lost because Will Smith blew a save.
yeah.
So the last time he played us, he struck out 10 of us. So, yeah, I'm not really excited about tonight as much as I was. All righty then.
He's got a 4 ERA though, so
Let's hope that was the anomaly, and Charlie Morton can go out and continue doing what he's been doing. He's been fantastic this year. So
let me wedge this day in Braves history
Please
in
do.
here real quick because we got a break coming up. On August 13th, 1921, Mule Watson became the last Major League Baseball pitcher to start, complete, and win both games of a doubleheader. Can you imagine asking somebody to do that now?
hey, man, it's your day to pitch, bro. Sorry, we got
your day.
It's your day. We got 2.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Leading the Boston Braves to a twin bill sweep of the visiting Philadelphia Phillies, Watson scattered 10 hits in a 4-3 Game 1 victory. Then, I guess he was warmed up. I guess he was good and loose by then. Retired the first 14 hitters he faced in the second contest, holding the Phillies to a pair of hits.
Wow.
En route to an 8-0 shutout decision. Nothing new from Mule Watson. It marked the 3rd time he had started both ends of a doubleheader, following 2 such occurrences with the 1918 Philadelphia A's. Capped an otherwise nondescript career for the Louisiana native as he went 50-53 with 208 career strikeouts for the A's, Braves, Pirates, and Giants from 1918 to 1924 before his arm fell off.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that was exactly what happened. It just, I mean, goodness gracious. That's amazing. 2 wins in the same day.
2 complete games.
2 complete game wins in the same day in a guy's career who only won 50.
I'm assuming that wasn't a 9 and 7 inning game like they've had the last couple of years, right?
No, it wasn't a 9 and 7. It wasn't a 7 and 7. It was 2 9s.
2 9s. That's incredible.
So
Wow.
all
right,
okay.
Mule.
So Mule went 50-53 over a 7-year career,
Yes.
and won 2 of his games in one day.
That's what I'm saying.
2 of his 50.
48 wins came outside that day. That's incredible.
There you go. That might be one of the best ones we've had.
That's literally 4% of his entire win total
In one day.
That's incredible. Anyway, Nashville Sounds did not have a good day yesterday, as
No, they did
whatever
not.
team we were rooting for was going to get beat like a drum, apparently.
Well, what's funny is I saw Oakland beating Cleveland 17-0.
It's because we were talking trash.
And Milwaukee beating the Cubs like 17-1 17-1 at the time I saw it, 17-4 final. And I'm thinking, geez, okay, let's go
now
Braves.
we know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we thought the Braves were going to be the ones scoring the runs. We were wrong.
No, they were the ones giving up the runs. Anyway,
And as were the Nashville Sounds. They lost 13-3 yesterday to the Louisville Bats at Louisville Slugger Field. They get back at it tonight. Dylan Fowle, 1-1 with a 2.57, going against Bo Takahashi, a 2-6, 5.25 ERA for Louisville. Louisville scored 6 in the 4th and 5 in the 5th last night, so that's it's not a recipe for success.
it's not. That's not conducive to winning at all.
No, it's not. No, it's not. So Nashville back at it tonight. Louisville Slugger Field at 6 o'clock. You can hear Jeff Him on 94.9, I think.
I believe so.
That reminds me, you can hear Lee Maddox at 8 o'clock tonight. You can hear him on WKOM 101.7 FM and WKRM 103.7 FM, as he will call the Creekwood Columbia Central Jamboree game tonight. All right, one last segment, and it's Friday, so you know what that means. It's the Chicken Man coming up as Terry Wilcox joins us to talk a little NASCAR. I don't know if we're probably done talking Indy and F1 for a while, so that's good. I don't know anything about that, so I can't really. It does me no good. But we do have T. Willie coming up. He's going to tell us a little bit about what's going on in NASCAR, and really excited to hear what he's got to say. And it's the weekend, so let's go. Stick around. Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint. Be right back to the Lee Company studio right after this.
covering the teams you care about. It's Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Once again, live from the Lee Company studio with the Hall of Famer Mo Patton. Here's Chris Yao.
Welcome back into Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. A heck of a play there by the pitcher in the Little League, and the second baseman just couldn't come up with the catch. Had he made that catch, it would have been ESPN top 10. Great job by the pitcher there, but did not finish it. It's too bad. Glad to be with you as it's our final segment coming to you from this Lee Company studio, WZYX 94.5 The Eagle, WKOM 101.7 FM, Front Porch Sports. Hey, real quick.
What?
Next Friday. You guys love hearing us so much. I know you do. You're going to get so much of us. You're going to be so tired of us that you're going to need the 2-day break, because right after our show next week, we're going to give you a full 49 minutes of high school football previews. I like it. You like how the 49 minutes, because it's very specific.
49, very specific.
But
Not 48.
not 48,
And
not 50. It's going to be a 49 minutes of high school football previews.
Time it,
No,
because we will be.
we will be right on time. Nowhere else can you get full high school football coverage on before the game, during the game, after the game, during the week. On Monday, we'll be back here on the air reacting to all of the high school, college, and pro games throughout the fall. Of course, obviously, high school will be the only ones playing, other than the Titans. I guess we'll talk a little bit about their preseason game on Monday. But it's going to be Reaction Monday. We'll have all of our reactions, and we'll have reactions from across the Main Street Media umbrella, as we'll get reactions from probably get some from Casey Patrick, as he's going to be at the same game that we're at tonight. But we'll talk to everybody around the Main Street area, and big time games. We'll have how many games per Grand Division, JP? Is it 4 per division?
We're going to do 4.
4 in each Grand Division of the state. Yep. That will start at 6 o'clock, so you can listen. And I think WZYX is going to take the full 49 as
Correct.
well. So if you're listening on ZYX, if you're listening on the KOM, you're going to get the full 49-minute version. You'll get East, Middle, and West Tennessee. You will be as well versed in statewide coverage from Bristol to Memphis as anybody in the state if you listen to our show. That's all I can tell you.
Boom.
It's going to be a lot of fun. So,
Boom.
Well done, Mo.
tune in starting next week on Friday nights. And if you want to, while you're at the games, you can hear, we're going to have a stream. TriStar Friday Night Live will be ready to go. We will have a stream. You can hear George Plaster and Murphy Fair. They will be reacting to scores across the state, so you can keep up with scores on the scoreboard style through that stream while you're at your game on Friday night, and then on your way home from 9.
And JP will be whipping around. Is that right? That again?
We may do a little whip around from that. We'll be heavy on scoreboards as well, and talking to reporters.
It's going to be a lot of fun. So TriStarFNL.com, I hope, will be ready by then. If not, we'll get that link out to you however we can. But you're going to want to listen. It's going to be great. And you can hear us from 6 o'clock with that pregame show all the way until 11 o'clock with the scoreboard show. So after the game, get in your car, turn on your radio to WKOM 101.7, WZYX 94.5, or several of our affiliates throughout the state. We'll have you covered. So it's going to be fun. Now, we got about 10 minutes left. We want to talk a little NASCAR. Talk to the Chicken Man, T. Willie, Terry Wilcox.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, brother?
Hey, NASCAR is still running. It's still going on.
Are they? They still have NASCAR these days?
They still
I
have
thought, I thought they stopped that years ago.
Yeah, they pretty much did. But no, they'll be running right through November. So they're at Indianapolis this weekend at the road course. First time the Cup cars have ever run on the road course. The Xfinity did last year, so it's going to be interesting. We'll see how they do, but they'll adapt like they do to anything else. So, but we'll have coverage of that Saturday. We'll have the Xfinity race. I think we'll be on the air at 2:30 our time, and then Sunday we'll actually be on early. Sunday we'll be on at 10:30 in the morning for the
noon
for
race.
my pre-race, and then 11 o'clock is the their pre-race.
Yeah,
So-
that noon start time is very unusual.
Yes, it is. Chase Elliott, but go ahead.
Yeah, we know. Chase Elliott, blah, blah, blah. Kyle Larson showing that he can drive the road courses too last week, getting the win at Watkins Glen. Any chance that
No.
First of all, let me ask you this. Who did Richard Hendricks bribe to get 17 road courses in a year that only his guys win?
It's whoever is in charge of NASCAR. But as you know, the fans have been clamoring for.
Oh, yeah,
short
no, absolutely.
things. But the thing is, for some reason, they decided to listen. And I tell you, I would love to see one of the series run down street to Nashville next year. Wouldn't that be great?
That would be super cool. Hey, real quick, I know we've got the at the Brickyard Big Machine Vodka 400, powered by Florida Georgia Line. By the way, this is the absolute dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life, but whatever. That should be fun. Florida Georgia Line is powering a NASCAR race. That's absolutely insane, but whatever. I want to talk to you about this because this is the biggest news of the day in NASCAR. Darlington Raceway has repaved Turn 2.
All right. Boo.
That's what I'm saying. What is going on? Why are we?
I mean, Darlington is it eats tires. That's what it's known for.
That's the point.
And you have to learn how to be a race car driver in order to race there. I can't remember when the last time they repaved it, but it was probably within the last 10, 15 years. But still, it always comes right back to being a tire eater. That's what people like. You love to see. I'm sorry, we don't want anybody hurt, but we love to see them guys going into the corner and plowing into the wall. You know, that's what people. I'm sorry, it's kind of like you go to a hockey game for the fights. You know, it's the same.
I went to a fight and a hockey game broke out. No, according to the track president, Kerry Tharp, there had been underlying cracks in the surface of Turn 2 that had been allowing water to seep in. So I guess it makes sense. They pretty much had to do it. But it will be ready for the Southern 500. And are they going to – do they run in the playoffs, do they run the throwback paint schemes?
No, well, they do it. They only do it on – isn't it Labor – no, they already had that one, didn't they?
Right.
Yeah,
I didn't know if they would do it there too. I wasn't aware.
No, they only do it the one time. But yeah, and I can see why having to repave it because of that condition. I know the race in Nashville they had an issue with water too, but it had to do with I think a tent overflowing or something, one of the concession areas. But yeah, if you got a track issue where the water seeps up, you got to do what you can to fix it. Unfortunately, it caused them to have to repave it. But I'm surprised they only repaved that one corner. That's kind of strange, but oh well. Hey. Now Atlanta's going to use they're going to regrind up their stuff, put some new stuff down that's supposed to wear in really, really quick. So we'll see how that works next year.
I'm certainly curious to see how Atlanta's new pavement works as well. Talk about the standings a little bit. Kyle Larson, after his win last week, has taken over the top spot, shares it with Denny Hamlin. Larson has 5 wins, 12 top 5s, but Denny Hamlin with no wins and 12 top 5s is still tied with him because Larson didn't run for, the first 6-7 races?
Oh, not Larson. No. He's ran them all this year. Larson has.
Has he?
Larson.
Okay.
He started out the year with Hendricks right off the bat, remember? Last year was when he was set down, but he did come back. Now, he's ran all 23 races, so.
Okay.
In that year. But, you say he won last week, which was great. My son loved it, betting-wise.
Well, I know why your son loved it. He's just going to ride 5 all the way to the end, isn't he?
Well, he probably won't this week, but you got to look. He started first, and who started dead last week?
Chase Elliott, the guy who finished right behind him.
And he finished second. 10 more laps, he would have won the race. But you can't bet against Chase. Only if their team screws up. That's the only thing that hurts him. So it should be a good race. I'm first time the Cup guys have ran on the road course. So we'll see what happens, but I definitely predict unless something funny happens, Chase Elliott's going to win. So it's put your money on it.
So Kyle Larson and Denny Hamlin have 917 points. The next closest, William Byron at 786, Mo. A full 120 points behind or 30 points behind. That's insane.
And the big thing is you got to look at the points for, if Denny Hamlin, you get bonus points if you're the regular season champ, even if you don't win. But he doesn't get any of those if he does not win the championship. And I believe he will be positioned further down after, I think, all of the winners, if I'm not mistaken. I may not be correct on that, but he definitely will not get the bonus points, which is what he wants.
How many racers get into the playoffs? Is it 12?
The final 10.
Final 10. Okay, so
wait a minute. How many drivers? 16.
16. Okay. So
and we've had 14 winners
right now. Yeah. You got to put the winners in there. So,
yep,
that's going to be fun.
It is. And got two teammates down there, Austin Dillon and the young man, his name escapes, Tyler Reddick, who are like 5 points apart, and they're like in the last spot right now. So that's teammates fighting for it. So it's going to be interesting.
It certainly will.
Yep.
Terry.
Yep.
It's Friday.
Yes, it is.
We're ready to get out of here. You ready to get out of here? Let's send,
I am. I got one.
Let's send them home.
Time to get silly with T. Willie.
Come on.
Yeah. Before I head to Central for the football game, how does a computer screen get drunk?
Well, I assume it just drinks a little alcohol.
It takes screenshots.
Oh, come on. Take screenshot. That's good. Y'all give it up. That's T. Willie, Terry Wilcox, joining us, talk a little NASCAR as he does each and every Friday. Terry, thanks so much for having us, for hanging out with us, man. We appreciate you.
You got about 50 people in that room, so okay.
He's like, I'm going to come down there and do a show next week. Hey,
please tip your waitress.
A live studio audience here for Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. No, Terry, thanks so much, man. We really appreciate you, buddy.
You're welcome, guys. Have a good rest of the show and next week.
All right. T. Willie talking NASCAR as he does each and every Friday on this final segment, and we are ready to get out of here. Mo, again, Murray County Jamboree. Get out to Lindsey Nelson Stadium and bring your poncho, apparently. It ain't going to be pretty. Check us out at SM_TN Sports on Twitter, Southern Middle Tennessee Sports on Facebook, MainStreetPreps.com. You can check out full coverage of tonight's Jamboree there. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Hey, JP, got a question.
Fire away.
When is the next concert you're going to?
That would be tonight.
Oh, wow. JP going to a concert tonight. That's going to be fun, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
little Kings of Leon action.
Kings of Leon. It's not at the Greystone Quarry, is it? Because if so, you needed to leave 4 hours ago.
No, it's at Ascend. Traffic may be interesting though tonight.
Well, have fun with that.
Good luck. Good luck. We're gonna get out of here again. Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, or SM_TN Sports on Twitter. MoPatton_Sports at ChrisYao14. Any of those, check us out. For JP. Mo Patton, I'm Chris Yao on WCYX 94.5 The Eagle, KOM 1017, Andrew Moore in studio. Have a great day and stay cool, Columbia.